All right, Holly, did Ford miss their best chance to get a win for the near future at Talladega?
Well, I mean, it missed an obvious chance, I guess you could say, because there were so many running right up front and running right behind Michael McDowell. It's interesting when you talk to the Ford drivers; they tend to say it could be the next race. They aren't nearly as disheartened, maybe as everybody else that has given commentary about them. But I think that was one of the really good good opportunities that they're going to have. But look, I mean, a lot of the Ford drivers have wins at Dover in Fords. They're going to have a bunch of mile-and-a-half tracks that we'll see how that all shakes out. But yeah, I think Ford was disappointed in not getting the win, but I think they were encouraged by the way they ran.
0 for 10, Dustin. They never imagined that when they brought out the new Mustang.
Yeah, it's at the beginning of the season, the question was Ford and Toyota going to be ahead of Chevrolet since they had the new bodies, or was Chevy going to have the advantage because they had something they'd worked with and knew, and Ford and Toyota would need some time to kind of work through things. And I guess Chevy's come out ahead with what William Byron and the Hendrick cars in particular have done. Toyota's had a couple of those. Had a chance to get to victory lane. But yeah, boy, it is something surprising to see Ford at this point. And yeah, as Holly said, it was a great opportunity. And now you kind of, I kind of wonder, like anything can happen at Dover, but if you're looking at the Fords, you're thinking instantly of Penske. Ryan Blaney won top 10 in his last 6 starts at Dover, or in his last 6 races. I'm sorry. So they just haven't been able to hit on all cylinders. Joey Logano has 27 starts at Dover and has never won, and that's the most starts he's had at a Cup track without a Cup victory. So doesn't mean he can't win. Doesn't mean he's not going to be trying. I mean, they certainly will be, but this is a track that when you look at the top 4 guys is they're kind of coming into. It's not the best situation at this point, but then again, maybe things turn around. Then you go to Kansas and you look at what is in particular 2311, but what Toyota has done at Kansas, and will the Toyotas be as strong there? And if they are, then that becomes a further roadblock for Ford to win the following week at Kansas. Then you're off to Darlington. That's a track Joey Logano's very good at. Could it be Darlington? I don't think they want to wait until throwback weekend to get the first win for this car. So it's challenges, but again, that's the great thing about sports. We can discuss it and debate it and everything else, but it doesn't matter what we say or what we think. It's what happens when they go out there, and that's why sports is the great live entertainment vehicle that it is, because you just don't know what's going to happen.
Well, Holly, you look at it, I mean, you talked about it. The Ford drivers, at least publicly, are not as discouraged as you would think they might be, but Ryan Blaney's the top Ford driver, 7th in points. Then you go down to Chase Briscoe is 12th. He's the second Ford driver. And you look at this, what seems to be the constant is they say they just don't have the speed. Well, we're coming up on some tracks now where speed is going to be important, right?
Absolutely, and they concede as much. But I think I had a long talk with Brad Keselowski at Talladega, and he still feels like it could be the next week, it could be the next race. He's not counting them out. Obviously, they would like to have some more speed, but I really get the idea that these drivers, it would not surprise them to win at any of these. And Dustin brings up great points. Statistically speaking, are they necessarily the favorites? Is their recent performance they're making them a favorite? But I believe in speaking with them that they feel like the tide is turning. I think Talladega actually turns into a positive experience in terms of them being able to run up front and do that.
The thing is, you think about how much Ryan Blaney lost Atlanta by to Daniel Suarez, and you think about
if he wins that, you're talking about something else. There isn't this discussion point.
It changes the whole conversation. Yes. And McDowell,
or if Kyle Busch wins that race. I mean, I know we're talking about Ford, but think about if Kyle Busch wins that race and the struggles that he's had lately.
Yeah, it changes the whole narrative. So I mean, it's that's the thing. They're that close, and yet we're still talking about Atlanta, Talladega. You're still talking about super speedways.
Yeah. And again, it's those have been the best opportunities for the Fords. I mean, they've had some other runner-up finishes. I know Brad has finished second the last 2 weeks. Did have that runner-up finish at Texas, and again, they've had some close calls or opportunities, but they just haven't been able to put it forth. But again, I know talking with Ryan Blaney recently, and he was saying even though they didn't have a win, he said, "Look, I feel like we're further ahead than where we were last year," and quite frankly, they are. They have more top fives, top tens. They've scored more stage points than what he had at this point last year. And again, what happened last year? Well, he went on to win the championship. So, with this format, you don't have to be lighting the world on fire all season long. You have to be good at the right time. And now again, it's not like they're trying to do this on purpose. And obviously there is a risk involved with not getting as many playoff points because, look, Blaney advanced last year because he won at Talladega and he won at Martinsville. Without those wins, he's not in the championship four. So if you can build your operation to where you're stronger late in the season when everybody's getting stronger and everybody's supposed to be better, then I guess you can make up for some of the early season woes, and I think that's the question and the challenge. Team Penske's done it the last 2 years with Joey Logano and Ryan Blaney winning championships, where the first part of the season, they were not really tearing it up, and we were talking about other people, but at the end of the day, those are the last two champions in the series. Can Team Penske do it again and make it 3 in a row? And be celebrating, in November and all the way through the off season.
Yep.